Oh, my. 94.3 The Ox, Thomas Red, and indeed, what's your country song? On your Monday ride, 8:29 now, time for Coffee Talk, brought to you by the Comanche Chamber of Commerce and Agriculture. Check them out at #Explore Comanche, Texas, as we say good morning and welcome in Cynthia Newton with Hope Counseling. Good morning.
Good morning.
Been
Good
quite
morning.
the weekend on the home front, hasn't it?
It has, absolutely. It's just been, there's no words to describe it.
No. Disaster.
Yes,
what it is.
It has definitely been a disaster, absolutely.
More so for many than others, but
absolutely.
Nonetheless.
And I want to personally, from Hope Counseling, thank the firefighters and the volunteers and everybody that's just been out there just risking their lives and putting their lives on the lines to help keep these fires under control to the best of their ability. And so many in these rural areas are volunteers, and so they're leaving their day job, so to speak, to come volunteer to fight fires. And we can't thank you enough for what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And it's hard in the face of what we've seen these last few days, and it hasn't even been a week yet.
No.
I mean, and it's like, here we are Monday, and what was going on last Monday, and where we are today. And today we're sitting here amongst devastation, just all around us. And, we were able to implement a 24-hour call line at Hope Counseling. And for those that did utilize that, I'm glad that we were able to be there for you. And I just want you to know that anything we can do right now in light of this that's going on with everything in the disaster, we're here just to listen, just to be there to help you find the resources, get tapped in. I know there's so many resources out there, and it can get a little bit overwhelming when you're trying to go, okay, this is what I need, but I don't know where to turn right now. Okay, so this is, just be aware that we can help you. We're really trying to help manage and help point people in the right direction. We have a lot of volunteers helping us as well, and it's just been a blessing. So thank you to the communities. Like I said, there's not enough thanks to go around.
I was talking earlier. It doesn't surprise me the way the community's responded,
Absolutely
but it's
not.
reassuring just to know that
it's small town
we're
Texas
all in this
for you.
together.
I mean, really, small town Texas.
Yeah.
I mean, Texas in itself. I mean, we just have this huge heart, and you get into these small towns, and it's everybody helping out everybody, and it's just something. We're blessed to be able to see and witness in our area. So this morning I wanted to talk to y'all specifically about how to cope in the face of this disaster. Okay, so many have been touched, so many have been, and I don't know if touched is the right word, but so many have been affected by this and have lost belongings, have lost family members. I mean, we know that we lost one sheriff deputy in Eastland, and so many people have been touched by that, and it's traumatic in itself. And even though it's been a few days, so to speak, since some of this started, there are still so many emotions and feelings going on for these people that have been affected, and the more that are going to continue to be affected, because we know the fires are still going. We know that the fires have not been 100% contained, so we know that this is going to continue. And, until, thank goodness, I'm looking outside at gray skies and rain.
Right. Supposed to get some more later today.
Yes, so. Thank goodness for that. We just hope we don't go into tornadoes. But,
you do without that.
Gotta love Texas. Yeah, anyway. But, you're right now you're probably in that midst of trying to make sense of what's happened and deal with the stress of the situation. And in that moment of, okay, I need to get through today. I need to find shelter for today. I need to make sure that my kids are taken care of for today. You can't think past today, because you're overwhelmed. I mean, there's just so much. You've lost so much, or some people that haven't been able to return to their homes to see, even what there is or isn't, or,
the uncertainty of being run out of your house, not having law. I mean, they were going through that last night in May. It almost came to a mandatory evacuation, but like Melissa and them last Thursday night, they shushed them out, and then you're away from your home, and you have no idea what you're fixing to go home to.
No, you don't know. You don't know. I mean, I was watching breaking news in the different towns and just, hey, can anybody tell me about what's going on in this place or this place, or, just that uncertainty in itself leads to so many feelings and
Anxiety,
emotions.
yeah.
Absolutely. So I want to talk to you a little bit about what common reactions are you might be having or might have had through all of this, and then how to cope with it. Okay.
Sure.
So first off, common reactions are going to be intense or unpredictable feelings. If you feel like you're on a roller coaster, you're on a roller coaster.
Right.
Okay? You are. That is not abnormal. You are going through exactly what is expected. Okay? You may get anxious, overwhelmed, grief-stricken. You may just want to cry. You may want to scream. You may want to, anything. I mean, all this up and down emotions, 1 minute from 1 minute, is normal for what you're experiencing. Okay, so don't sit here and go, I'm crazy because I'm having all of this. No, this is absolutely normal. They can be in shock. Okay, when that shock wears off, reality will hit. For some people, that shock may not wear off for a while. It may not wear off until they're back trying to piece through their things, or even trying to figure out, okay, what do I do next? Where do I go next? How do I rebuild from here? And that can take weeks, even months, until that shock. I mean, it's like you get into that fight or flight, what do I have to do to survive syndrome, and you don't necessarily start realizing the reality of what's happened for a little while.
While you're in that is just so taxing, mentally and physically.
Absolutely. And that's part of our body's normal response to all of that. So you might have changes to thoughts and behavior patterns. So again, you might have repeated and vivid memories of the event. They may occur for no apparent reason. They may lead to physical reactions such as a rapid heart rate, sweating, or difficulty concentrating or making decisions. So just be aware that these things can happen. Sleeping and eating patterns can be disrupted. Some people may overeat and oversleep, while others experience a loss of sleep and a loss of appetite. Nightmares are going to be huge. Nightmares for those that have been immediately affected, or people even that have just heard about it. There's so much talk about it right now. Even my son woke up last night with the nightmare of a fire.
Sure.
I mean, so even though we were not on the forefront of a fire near our home, of course we've known many people that have been impacted by it, and he's heard me talking about it and helping others, and it was obviously to the point that it gave him a nightmare. So be careful, about what your kids are hearing and seeing as well, and just you. I mean, absolutely, those fears are going to be real right now. Excuse me. You may have some sensitivity to environmental factors. So think about this: the sirens that were going off, loud noises, burning smells, other environmental sensations that may stimulate memories. Okay, that's going to happen. You walk outside, you smell that smoke, you're going to have a startle response. Okay, that's normal. Okay, that is normal. Be aware of what is going on. Take a minute to take a deep breath and look and find that reality point for you of where you are right now. Feeling of powerlessness, again, crying for no reason. You may have an increased use of alcohol and drugs. So just be aware if you're starting to intake any of that more than what you were, that you may need to step back and call somebody to talk to or help you through this. All right, so I'm sitting here going through all these things, and you're like, okay, Cynthia, you're talking to me. What do I need to do now? I mean, yeah, I've got all this going on. What now? I'm sorry, I'm still kind of having some choked up from the smoke and stuff too. Yeah. And there's one other thing I didn't say, because this is really important. Headaches, nausea, chest pain. Any pre-existing medical conditions could actually be affected by disaster-related stress. Okay, just the stress itself, that can actually cause physical problems, so be aware of that. Research shows that most people are resilient and over time are able to bounce back from tragedy. Okay, that's a great thing. That's a great thing to hear. It's common for people to experience stress in the immediate aftermath, but within a few months, most people are able to resume functioning as they did prior to the disaster. It's important to remember that resilience and recovery are the norm, not prolonged distress. So resilience, recovery are the norm, but if it goes prolonged, that is when it becomes concerning. Sure. Okay. I'm going to have a hard time here. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry. So there are a number of steps that you can take to build emotional well-being and gain a sense of control following a disaster. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a few of those real quickly. Taking care of yourself. Give yourself time to adjust. Anticipate that this will be a difficult time for you. Don't try to sit there and say, oh, I'm going to just go ignore it, and it's going to be like unicorns and rainbows. Okay, it's not. I mean, just be realistic. Okay, there's a difference in realism, okay, optimism and pessimism. We know that. Okay, and I'm not sitting here saying be pessimistic and whatever. No, just be realistic and know this is going to be a difficult time. Allow yourself time to mourn the losses. Allow your children time to mourn these losses that you've experienced. And try to be patient with the changes in your emotional state. Ask for support from people who care about you, who will listen and empathize with your situation. They are out there. They're going to be there. I mean, there's so many outlets right now there, even in the coming weeks, again, for some people right now in the midst of it, it's hard to know what you need. In the weeks is when you're going to be like, where's everybody? Where's all the help? Everybody was there at the beginning. I don't know where they are now. Please know that there are people that are still going to be there. Your friends, your family, we're going to be there. Anything that can happen. I mean, just know as the weeks prolong, it may get even tougher for you.
Sure.
Communicate your experience. Talk about it. Okay, talk about it. Please don't try to stuff it. If you stuff it, you're not dealing with it. You're not setting a good example for your kids, and you're not setting a good example for yourself. Okay, limit exposure to the images of the disaster. Don't sit there and scroll through Facebook. Don't sit there and turn on the news and sit there and just put yourself in it constantly. Okay, you've been through this. You've seen it. You saw the fires up close and personal. Don't relive it constantly.
Yeah.
Okay, that in itself is going to cause you a harder time to get over it, okay? You've got those pictures embedded in your mind. They're not going to go away anytime soon. But if you continue to look at those, you're going to have more difficulty getting past this, okay? And it's not getting over it because you're never going to get over this. You can get past it.
Yeah.
All right, find a local support group led by trained and experienced professionals. Engage in healthy behaviors, okay? Eating well-balanced meals. There are multiple places in these communities that are providing good, solid meals. Okay, go take that time. Even if you yourself has not lost your home, going and getting a good meal and making yourself do that in light of this tragedy in these communities, even though maybe it was like right up to you. I mean, that is okay to help you make sure that you're eating and taking things for yourself. Okay. Establish or reestablish routines. Routines right now are important. Okay, go to bed at the same time. Get up at the same time. Eat your meals at the same time. Okay, yeah, you're going to be dealing with chaos. You're going to be dealing with unknowns. But what you can know is, I'm going to sleep here tonight. I'm waking up here tonight. This is what's happening tomorrow. Make your plans for tomorrow, tonight, so that you can rest easy and you know, hey, when I get up in the morning, this is what I'm going to face. Sure, there's still unknowns. Absolutely. There may be times like Kyle was talking about where, all of a sudden you're back in an evacuation state. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that we're able to overcome that, but that can happen. Don't fixate. Don't worry about the unknowns. Worry about what you can control. You can control where you are right now, putting your head down, going to sleep, trying to get sleep while you can, because tomorrow you have a plan. It may change, but you have a plan. Okay? Find time for activities you enjoy. I know that sounds crazy right now, but last night, one of the things that I did with my kids, of course, we were going and delivering things and picking up stuff for people as well. And it was like, we come home and it's like, let's just play a game of Uno,
Decompress.
Just something that, we could do that, we enjoy, some family time, something that's not a focus on the tragedy around us, but just something that, okay, we enjoy. Go spend some time, helping, volunteering with the animals. Animals are great, guys, and if you've lost animals, I know that there's lots of people trying to help reconnect animals to families, as well. So there's just so much out there, and I could go on forever, and I'm trying to hit on the top points today. Another huge thing right now, take one thing at a time. Okay, one thing at a time. You are not able to multitask right now. Okay, I talked a little bit about COVID brain last week and COVID fatigue, which is kind of crazy that we went from that to this now.
Sure.
But when you are dealing with disaster, trying to multitask in all these different areas is almost impossible. Okay, so you've got to make a list, prioritize your list, take one thing at a time, or you're going to get panicked, you're going to get anxious, you're going to get more upset, and and just more overwhelmed. So if you take one task, prioritize that task, accomplish that task, and go on to the next one. Okay, and do this. Even if you have to do this multiple times a day to help you refocus and recenter, there's nothing wrong with that. But keep yourself centered and keep yourself focused. It will give you that sense of control that you have. Even in all the chaos, it will also give you a sense of accomplishment, even though in the big picture you may not have felt like you've accomplished everything that you need to. Okay, do something positive. All right, find something positive you can do, even if it's calling up somebody and checking on them, even if it's going and giving somebody a hug, or even if it's helping helping the people around you, even if it's starting a support group of people that have experienced the same thing as you. Do something positive. Okay, find something positive that you can do, and that's going to help you as well. Avoid drugs and excessive drinking. Ask for help when you need it. Okay, again, this is not going to be like, oh, next week we're all going to be fine, happy-go-lucky, everything's back to normal, right? Absolutely not. There's devastation, homes that are gone, and by next week people are finally probably going to be at, okay, what do I do now? What do I do now? Do I rebuild? Do I move? Major life changes in the middle of distress. Okay, these life changes are going to be important for you, but be very careful in how you tackle these life-changing decisions. Okay, you are still in an emotional state. Make sure that you're seeking counsel. Make sure that you're aware of what you're doing. Don't jump off and make life-changing decisions that could impact you or your family without ensuring that you're making good decisions in light of the tragedy. Okay, typically people who have existing mental health problems and those who have survived post-trauma may also want to check in with a mental health care professional during this time. So if you've already had PTSD or been diagnosed with that, or you already have a mental health disorder, be sure to check in with somebody just to, make sure where you are, because this is going to exacerbate your symptoms. You may re-trigger your PTSD. For others, if you start having symptoms that I'm talking about, basically that won't go away for about longer than 6 weeks. Okay, we're going to say 4 to 6 weeks. Okay. At that point in time, you really need to start seeking professional help. Okay, and so think 4 to 6 weeks. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to say, okay, guys, for those of y'all that are affected and you're still having these symptoms, and we're here to help you. We're not leaving. Hope Counseling of Texas, we're here. We've got offices in Eastland, Comanche, Hamilton, Dublin. We are here for you. Okay, right now we've got volunteers round the clock, ready to help you, ready to talk, ready to listen. Okay, because sometimes in those nighttime hours, I know it's hard, I know it's difficult. You find your body gets still, and you're like, now what do I do? Yeah. And all these things start turning in your head, and you don't really have as many people to talk to. But just know that we are here. Our 24-hour number right now is 325-356-0075. Again, that's 325-356-0075. If there's anything we can do, we will have people at our offices every day of the week in different locations. I know that there'll be somebody in our Eastland office tomorrow being Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday this week. So Eastland community, we're going to be right there in your community this week as well. So just know that we're here for you, and anything we can do to support you through this time. 325-356-0075 is our 24-hour call number. Reach out to us, contact us. We're here to listen. We're here to help you navigate through this.
All right. Cynthia Nugent, thanks so much for stopping by and everything you do.
Thank you.
Howdy, Mike Hagan is here at the new lesson. Strike while the iron is hot.